Good morning. It's been a long time since I've done a build video. Been a little bit busy. I've done lots of flying and I've gotten into quads a little bit. I haven't built a plane in a while. So I think today I'm going to build one that I've wanted to build for a long time. What I'm missing, I've got one slow flyer in my quote unquote fleet, but it's not slow enough to fly in the little park that I have, and it's not slow enough to fly up at my brother-in-law's, where we're surrounded on all sides by trees, and you really need the ability to slow things right down. So I'd seen this plan on rcgroups maybe a year or two ago. It was quite a while ago, called the So Slow, and it's a very simple design. It's a single sheet of Dollar Tree foam board, 30 by 20 inches, and it really looks like it's going to be easy to build. So I'm going to just do this here, and as I go along I'll probably refer back to the plans a few times. It's pretty easy. If you're looking for the plans, SEW-SLO, and you'll find the link on rcgroups. There's a single PDF file, and it's really not that difficult to follow. So first thing I'm going to do, first thing the plans call for, I'll just do the first part here by memory, is I'm going to divide the piece of foam board in half here. So at 15, I'm going to put a line there, and it looks like my pen is almost gone. The second thing that I have to do is along this side of the foam board, make a line at 2 inches and a line at 6 inches from the bottom. And I've already done the corresponding lines on the other side. And of course this pen is completely out of ink. So I'm going to go ahead and make these first couple cuts before doing my... Oh no, you know what? I should do a measurement down the middle where this is going to intersect. Now this looks like 6 inches above. So I'll take my two 6-inch lines here. There and there. So my two 6-inch from the bottom, and line up with the side here, and so at 15. So this is going to be the center line between there, and it goes down. Now his drawings make this look angled to 1 inch, so he comes down another inch below this line here, and an inch below this side. So his elevons are actually 2 inches on the outside of the plane, and 1 inch in the middle. So it's kind of a sloping elevon. So I'll draw that marker there, and I should be able to draw a line from here to the bottom corner. You can see that this is just making an indent in the foam. Oh, by the way, the foam board I'm using here is actually Elmer's. Dollar Tree stocked this for a while, and I picked up a bunch of it, and it's not great for doing like the arm and wing type stuff because the paper doesn't peel off very well. But it is more rigid than the normal Adams Ready board. So for something like this that I'm going to leave the paper on, I think this is ideal. So I like to use this Elmer's if I can get it at a good price. Walmart also carries this, but they charge like $4 a sheet for it. But I like to use this for my rudders and elevators on my planes, which I leave the paper on for strength. So here you can see the sloping elevons here. Now I'll line up I'm going to double check my measurement. 6 inches. 6 inches. So I'm going to line up the middle point on the top with my 6 inches here. really wish that this pen was working so you could get an idea of what I'm drawing. You probably can't even see that on camera. You'll see it when I cut it. So what we've got here is the outline. This is the basic plane. The only other thing to measure out, I think, is where we're going to have an opening. So I'm just go to the trusty computer. It looks like 8 inches. 8 inches and about 1.5 inches wide opening is what he's got. So I'm going to line up my 2 center points here and draw on marker at 8 inches for 1.5 inches. So that'll be my opening, and I'm going to also, on the 2 sides here, I'm just going to do a little marker at 8 and 9.5. And so let's go 10 there. So 8, 9.5. So oh, that's hard to see. I didn't mark that hard enough over here. So let that be a lesson to you. Always have a working pen or pencil before you start something like this. Okay, so how, line these 2 up, how wide do we want to make this? Well, he doesn't actually say in his diagram, but I'm thinking an 8-inch prop is probably what I want to fit in here, so I'm thinking a 9-inch wide opening. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4.5 to here, so at 10.5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.5 to 19.5, so 10.5 to 19.5. And again, 10.5 to 19.5. Then all I need is some straight lines here. I'm not gonna, shadows are killing me. Imagine you're watching nothing now. I should really go and find myself a pencil, but I'm gonna cheat here, and I'm just gonna kind of draw this freehand without measuring. Because it really doesn't matter that much if it's 100% square. It'll look better if it does. Okay, so you're finally going to see something happen here when I back in 1 second. Let's get something to snap off this blade. Always use a sharp blade. Okay, let's hope this cuts nice and easily, because this is about the worst knife you can get. But it does have a sharp blade on it. So there we go. So out of these extra pieces that I'm going to have, I'm going to be able to make my winglets or anything else that I might want to add to this plane for stability. Oh my God, John, what is wrong with you? There we go. Well, that cut wasn't the best in the world, but I'm sure it'll still work out. Switch from there to the corner. Now, although I drew these elevons right to the corner and right to the middle, the plans do show them going right to the corner. But as I've shown in some of my other planes, if you do these right to the corner, what I find happens is on even landings that aren't horrible but are just slightly awkward, the plane will come down, it'll hit this. That jars up the elevon and that jars your servo. And if you're using the little cheapy 9-gram plastic servos like I do, sometimes that's enough to have the servo bind and your plane won't fly for the rest of the day. I'm going to get a smaller ruler because that one's throwing too much of a shadow for me to see. Maybe I'll throw my glasses on too. So this was 1.5 inches. There. This is a single sheet. In his plans he has two extra pieces right on the front nose and two winglets and a little bit of reinforcement as well. So I'm going to see how it feels once I get it cut out to see how much of that I'm going to do. With the paper. Okay. So there's our spot for our prop. Now, as far as these go, I'm going to come in from the edge about, that doesn't leave me a lot. I should have left those 2 inches thick. So I'm going to come in 1 inch from the edge and hope that I still have lots of control here. Actually, I'm going to measure it 1 inch along the line just to make it easier on myself. 1 inch along the line, which is going to give me slightly less than 1 inch. I'm going to take that straight down, even angle it out just a little. The other thing I could do instead of doing this is I could have angled these in, this cut in like that, so that when it hits it'll catch the edges and not the sides. But I'm going to try it with this and see how it works out. So what is next? What is next? Some reinforcement. Now in a follow-up he said he did some strips like this. And of course he has his strips for the nose. Now let's see, do we have? Yes, we do. That's perfect. So I can use these two leftover corner pieces, I believe, to fit the nose fairly nicely. It's pretty close, not really. Alright, let's just draw it. Let's just draw it on. That's a shame. If that was originally rated a 90, that would have been a lot easier. How much does it matter? Let's make it easier on ourselves. Let's follow the one line here. I don't need much. So I'm actually just going to use that as a guide and cut right along there. So now we've got a good piece, and all I need to do is to Let's see, does he have a measurement on these? No, he doesn't. Let's call it 3 inches. Three inches there. 3 inches there. Straight across. I'm not sure what purpose this serves. Maybe a little protection for the nose. This is part of his plans, so. Yeah, why not? This ruler is so much nicer. Inches there. Three inches here. Now I'm not going to post the plans for this plane because I've already told you can go to rcgroups and look up the so slow. And I'm not going to repost somebody's exact plans. It's not right. Alright. So there we go. That's how that's going to fit together at the front. That'll be glued together. Now, I'm going to do any bracing that I do, I'll do afterwards. So I'm just going to cut the elevons out now.